Hi there, we're the Stoofs, and we love telling stories from the Bible. Let us tell you about a man God used to save the Israelites from their enemies. Many years ago, the Israelites turned away from God and started following the fake gods of the other countries around them. Because they turned away from Him, God let the wicked Midianites take over Israel for 7 years. There were so many Midianites that they couldn't even be counted. They covered the ground like grasshoppers and took all the food from Israel's fields before they could pick it up. The people of Israel became poor, hungry, and very sad. They cried out to God to save them from the Midianites, hoping He would end their suffering. God heard the prayers of His people and wanted to help them, so He sent one of His angels to meet with a man named Gideon, who was secretly gathering food to hide from the Midianites. The angel said, "The Lord is with you." But Gideon didn't believe it. He couldn't understand why such bad things were happening to his people. It didn't really feel like God was with them. But the angel explained that not only had God heard their prayers, but He was going to use Gideon to deliver the people from the Midianites. Gideon didn't feel like he deserved such an important job, but the angel said God would be with him and would help him win the battle no matter how many enemies they faced. Soon, an enormous army of Midianites and others came together to fight against Israel. But God's Spirit came upon Gideon, and he made his own army with the Israelites that lived nearby. Gideon was feeling worried, so he asked God to show him a sign that Israel would win the coming battle. He put a piece of cloth on the ground and told God that if the cloth was wet in the morning and all the ground dry, then he would know God was with them. Gideon woke up early the next day to discover that God had done it. The ground was dry, but the cloth was soaking wet. But Gideon wasn't ready to believe yet and asked God for one more sign. If the ground was wet, but the cloth dry, then he would know that God was with the Israelites. Once again, God did what Gideon had asked. Now he was sure that God was with the people and was ready to follow God's plan to deliver them from the Midianites. The problem was there were too many people in the Israelite army. God wanted to show Israel that He was the one who made them strong, so He told Gideon to send home everyone who was afraid to fight. More than half the army left Gideon and went home. But God wasn't finished. He still thought there were too many people. If they won, they would think their own strength had defeated the Midianites, not God's. So God sent them to the river and told Gideon to watch for the people who drank water from their hands. They were the ones that would fight against the Midianites, and only 300 of them were left. Then Gideon told the people what the plan was. He split the army into 3 groups to surround their enemies while they slept, and gave each man a trumpet and a lamp to hold. When the time was right, they smashed their lamps, blew their trumpets loudly, and shouted with all their might. The Midianites woke up so scared and confused that they began fighting each other. They were so scared they started running back to their own lands. God had defeated their gigantic army with trumpets, lamps, and just 300 men. If we believe in God and do what He says like Gideon did, we can be victorious over any enemy and see God do amazing things in our lives.
Hello there, my name is Tobe. I'm one of the Stoofs. And I'd like to read more about Gideon, like in Judges 6-8 in your Bible. Join us next time when my friends and I tell another exciting Bible story.